Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. A 17-year-old boy on the autism spectrum is hospitalized with a fractured jaw following an assault at a crowded fair in Philadelphia, west of Athens on May 2nd. Police say the incident began during the outdoor event where the teenager was attending with his two sisters. The situation escalated from a minor dispute after accidental contact in the crowd. According to authorities, an argument developed between the victim's 20-year-old sister and the 20-year-old partner of the alleged attacker. The confrontation became physical. The 25-year-old partner, who reportedly has knowledge of martial arts, intervened and struck the teen's sister and then punched the 17-year-old, breaking his jaw. Both suspects left the scene immediately after the assault. Police located and arrested them the following day. They face charges including causing bodily harm to a vulnerable person and aiding an offender. Authorities say the suspects have admitted involvement and a case file has been prepared. The teenager remains under medical care in a central Athens hospital. The suspect's family has presented a different account from police, stating the incident began after the couple was pushed and that the attacker reacted after first being struck himself. A 42-year-old care worker is recovering in hospital after a knife attack inside a private home on Rhodes. According to local reports, the woman was working as a caregiver for two bedridden individuals when she was attacked by a 54-year-old woman known to her. The suspect reportedly led the unassuming victim into the kitchen and suddenly carried out the attack. The victim was stabbed 4 times in the chest, arm, leg, and side, and then locked inside a room. Despite her injuries, the woman managed to call emergency services. Paramedics located her and transported her to hospital where she underwent emergency surgery. Investigators say the suspect cut the wiring of the property's security cameras before leaving in what authorities believe was an attempt to prevent the recording of evidence. Several hours later, the suspect presented herself at a local police station and was taken into custody. Authorities have opened a criminal investigation and are also examining the suspect's mental health background. The Greek government is considering extending fuel support measures already in place as global oil prices continue to rise. Officials are reviewing both the continuation of the diesel subsidy and a possible extension of the Fuel Pass program, which are currently set to expire at the end of May. Brent crude has reached $150 per barrel after peaking at $126 last week. Earlier projections had estimated an average of $89 per barrel this year, raising uncertainty over growth and inflation forecasts. Rising fuel prices are increasing transportation and energy costs, adding pressure across the supply chain and contributing to inflation. The diesel subsidy, set at 20 cents per litre, has kept prices below €2 per litre and is seen as a key measure to limit broader cost increases. At the same time, authorities are considering extending the fuel pass for June and July, aiming to support households facing higher gasoline prices, which remain unyielding at over €2 per litre across much of the country. Final decisions will depend on a fiscal reserve of around €200 million, which the government may use to fund targeted measures depending on the developments in the Middle East. Opposition party PASOK has filed a request for a parliamentary inquiry into Greece's wiretapping case, seeking to reopen the investigation following the decision by the prosecutor of Greece's Supreme Court to shelve the case. The party submitted a 32-page proposal to Parliament, citing indications of links between the National Intelligence Service, known as AIP, and companies connected to the Predator spyware. PASOK is calling for an investigation into how Predator was used, who approved and supervised its operation, and how any cooperation was financed. It is also seeking to determine who had access to surveillance material, where that material is now, and whether there was any effort to cover up or limit the initial parliamentary investigation. The proposal raises the question of whether these actions were known or coordinated by the Office of Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis. The request follows criticism of the Supreme Court prosecutor who handled the case, who had previously authorized lawful surveillance of targets later linked to Predator. PASOK also refers to statements by company founder Tal Dilian and plans to request his testimony along with ministers and other allegedly targeted by the software. The unusually cold weather event that affected Greece over May Day weekend was the most extreme cold snap to occur in May in the country's history. According to Meteo, the weather service of the National Observatory of Athens, snowfall in early May has occurred before, but this event stands out for its intensity and wide geographic reach. Researchers report that temperature deviations of 12 to 13 degrees Celsius below seasonal averages, including in Athens. Snowfall was recorded on Mount Parnitha on May 2nd and 3rd, a rare occurrence for the Attica region at this time time of year. Data shows the last similar event in early May occurred in 1987. At the Thesea weather station in central Athens, the maximum temperature on May 2nd reached just 15.2 degrees Celsius, the lowest recorded for that date since records began in 1890. Average temperatures were also among the lowest on record. May Day ranked among the 4 coldest in the past 135 years, while May 2nd recorded the second lowest average temperature for that date. These were the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. Thanks for watching.